What if I told you I have the secret to curing your confidence issue? I have the secret to raising your self-esteem, to making you look in the mirror and be happy and be joy-filled and be excited to see who you're seeing in the mirror. If you're watching this, you're probably one of many people who have struggled with depression and anxiety, because we live in a times where those numbers are the highest it's ever been in history. And if you're still here, it means you haven't fallen to the rising self-delete rate. So I want to say thank you on behalf of the world for not being a part of that number and powering through. I know that if you have struggled with those thoughts, and if you have struggled with depression and anxiety, it gets very, very dark. And it might also be the possibility that clicking on this YouTube video for you is more than just somebody clicking on my channel, and more than somebody just trying to learn something. You're actually trying to learn how to love yourself and how to be confident, how to let go of all of this insecurity that you hold in your heart. I know where you're at. I've been there. And I wanted to share the only solution for my issue in the hopes that maybe it'll help you guys. And this is not a gimmick. This is not one of those videos where I tell you to go do a nice plunge every morning or tell you to start working out and then everything will get better, because that's not the case. I think that there is truly one solution, and I'm gonna tell you that, so watch the whole thing. But I want to make sure I add the right context for you to understand. I want to address the issue, or what I think is the problem, and why so many people feel so insecure in today's age. I say it in all of my videos, but social media is a very strong thing. Comparison is an issue. The main thing on social media, which might not be what you think, that I think is causing the most harm to everybody who consumes social media, is the narrative on self. The self-improvement things, the self-care topics, the overall meta of mental health. While it has brought awareness to so many issues that weren't made aware before, I don't think it's offering the right solutions. And I consider myself a productivity and self-improvement YouTuber, somebody who talks about these topics. But I try to push a different narrative than what I think most people are doing. And I'm not the only one. Shout out to all the other people who inspire me to make this content. But the worst advice I've seen, which is a great form of manipulation, and it works because it kind of makes sense at the surface level, is the idea that you should build yourself, be someone that you can be proud of by your accolades, by your job, by your income, how attractive your partner is, by the size of your house, by the amount of kids you have, by the amount of kids you don't have, by the amount of followers on your thing. All of these little things that we're supposed to use to validate ourselves to ourselves, that somehow when we look in the mirror, all of those things pop up and we don't see the bad thing. These are the issues that I'm seeing in today's society, that we are only focused on ourselves. You've seen it. Everything is reflected on self. How can you be better? How can you get hotter? How can you get smarter? And no, I don't think that getting smarter or getting hotter or getting more fit are bad things. So please don't get it twisted. I talk about that often. But the way that it's used to be a solution or a cure for a deep-rooted insecurity or low self-esteem, as if having a jawline is going to make you feel better about yourself than not having a jawline, or having a six-pack is going to make you feel better about yourself than not having a six-pack at large, I think is a lie. I think it's not true. I think it's false. If you are finding faults and flaws in yourself right now, you're going to find faults and flaws in yourself when you achieve all of those things that you've seen. That's why we see millionaires self-delete. That's why we see the most successful and the most high in terms of the world and financial accolades and all of that stuff still be depressed. I don't think that just leveling up these areas of your life will make you happier and will make you feel better about yourself. Genuinely don't think so. You don't even have to believe me. It's documented. It's a thing. This is not a new idea. Now that we set the context of the conversation, and I told you my general problem with the world and the way that this message is pushed, I want to give you two solutions for your self-esteem, how to gain your confidence back, and if you never had it, how to be confident in yourself. And I want you to decide for yourself, before I expound on it and tell you what I believe, I want you to make the decision for yourself.
Okay, before you keep watching the video, I need to let you guys know about my newsletter. It's a free sign-up newsletter where you'll receive a weekly email where I go deeper into, some of these ideas that I make these videos about. So if you're a reader and you like reading, that's a format that you enjoy consuming, I recommend that you go and sign up. The link will be in my description. And yeah, if you're subscribed to my channel, you're gonna love what we talk about in the newsletter. Click the link and sign up. It's completely free, but I won't keep you any longer. Let's get back to the video.
So solution number 1 is focus on yourself. That's right, focus on you. You've been way too focused on other people's opinions your whole life. You've allowed other people's expectations and judgments and everything get to your head, and it's affecting how you're operating. You're not where you want to be because you're too focused on other people. You need to just cut everybody out and focus on yourself. Okay, take 6 months and go crazy, go ham. Okay, become the strongest man you can be, become the strongest woman you can be. Get that 6-pack, build that business, start something new, quit your job so that you can start fresh and so you can build something you can be proud of. This is the only way to be confident, is to do this. The only way to be confident is to finally detach your worth from other people and focus on yourself. That's solution number 1. This is solution number 2. Don't listen to those people who said to focus on yourself, because when you're focusing on yourself, you're not worried about anybody else around you. It's selfish, actually. It's immature. In fact, not only is it selfish and immature, it's foolish. Who are you? Who are you better than to say that your version of success is the only version for yourself? Like, why don't you listen to your parents? You should listen to your parents. Your parents have more wisdom. They have more experience. You should try to please everybody around you, the most amount of people around you, because if you're likable and if people like you, then that'll bring more business, right? And if people like you, then you'll get more opportunities. If people like you, then you'll be able to get the girl of your dreams because she'll like you, or you'll be able to find your husband because you are the most liked in the city. Become the prettiest girl you can right now so that everybody wants a shot at you, or become the most handsome dude. Chiseled abs, strong physique, do everything you can to look and appear the best to everyone around you. Because we live in a world with people, and that's how connections, relationships is the most important thing, right? So make sure that you don't fail your relationships. That's the second solution. I want you to take 5 seconds right now and decide which one do you think is the correct solution. The one where you make yourself the focus, or the one where you make other people's opinion the focus? I'm gonna give you about 5 seconds. Yes, this is a real test right now, okay? Because I'm about to blow your mind. Okay. They're both wrong. They're both wrong. And I'm talking long term. I'm talking life. They're both wrong. Now, while they both might have some things in them that are true and that will help you become a confident person, confident and competent human, if that is how you look at life in both ways, they're both going to lead to the same thing. They're both about your pride. They're both about how highly you think of yourself based off of yourself. And I'm going to tell you why this is a problem, because this is exactly what all the rappers say, what I've said in my music, is what I've told and preached to people. But I know what doing that for so long does. If you take the first approach and you just decide to cut everybody off, you're going to be lonely. You're going to make it to the top and you're going to have nobody with you. If you do not focus on the people around you, you're just going to be lonely. That is not a good life. And then you will look at yourself in the mirror with the Bugatti, with the pretty ladies waiting for you, with the 20 Chanel bags in your closet that you got from building your business or whatever it is that you did to get that, right? You're going to look at yourself in the mirror and you're going to be like, why doesn't anybody like me? I guess I won't like myself. That's the first one. The second solution, here's why that one is wrong. Although it looks like you're caring about what other people think about you and you're being sweet and you're being inclusive and you are being selfless, you are being selfish by worrying about how other people view you and how other people think of you. Even though it might seem like you're not caring and it might seem like you're trying to live for other people, living for other people for the sense of pride and for the sake of pride and for the sake of your arrogance and for the sake of self-lifting, right? For self everything. This is the issue. Self, right? Doing that will lead to the exact same result as the first one. It will lead to you looking in the mirror, realizing that you can't live up to people's expectations and that you are falling short. In the 40 friends that you have, you can't give any of them enough time. In the 40 friends that you have, you realize that you haven't really gotten deep with any of them, that you can't have one true relationship with anybody because you treat everybody at a surface level in order to be liked by everybody. You realize that even though you might have all the followers on social media, nobody really cares. This is the result of both of those trains of thought, which are the two leading trains of thought in the world today as it pertains to how to gain your confidence and how to be proud of yourself and your self-esteem. Now, I'm going to give you the solution that's worked for me and that is currently working for me and that I hope to continue being in the perspective and so I can lead an even bigger life. Here it is. Don't make yourself the priority, not in order to appease anybody. Just simply allow your acts of contribution to the common good, to your community. Reflect who you are. Be kind. Make the switch from self to service. Start basing who you are off of your actions for other people, not for how they react to your actions to other people, not for how they perceive to like you, not whether people like you or not, but simply do good. Do good in your life. Acts of service. And I don't mean just giving $1 to the poor. I mean make your life about how you can contribute to society. We all have a gift. We all have something that we're good at. We all have something that we can contribute to the world. Make that your life. Make that your life and make your life centered around relationships and people. Connection is our strongest thing, is the strongest thing we can build. But it only works if it's real connection, not a facaded version. Unlike the first solution, I'm not encouraging you to go and be by yourself and just focus on yourself for a year and then pop out with a Lamborghini and expect everyone to like you. No. Invest in your friendships, invest in your family, invest in the people in your life, and then you will see how their genuine care for you will change how you care for yourself. The moment we stop trying to make ourselves the greatest thing and just try to make our community the greatest thing, the people around us the greatest thing, the people we love feel loved, the people we care for feel cared for, that's when we will see that, because it's going to be a reflection of ourselves. And it sounds like some Gandhi stuff, and maybe it is. I don't know. I never studied Gandhi's speeches or whatever, but it sounds too good to be true, and it sounds surface level, but it's true. Instead of focusing on how chiseled you want your abs to be, focused on the art of discipline. Focus on how disciplined you can be. That's an act of service to yourself. It's not a vain, egotistical goal. Build your character. Don't read just to be the smartest person in the room. Read for wisdom. Read so that you can actually not only take better decisions for yourself, but guide other people in the best way. If we're living life to really be that person, and if you want to be a father or a mother, I guarantee you, if you do these things with your children in mind, the people who are with you in mind, when you're building a business, don't build a business just to make yourself rich. Build a business to make the 10 people around you rich. This is the mindset that you have to take in, I believe, in order to finally cure your insecurity. I don't think that you're going to find that with a brand new car. I don't think you're ever going to find that with the amount of friends you have, surface level. I think you can only find that when you truly look in the mirror and say, I am a contribution to my society. If you're a believer in Jesus, you know this to be true. And if you're not a believer in Jesus, I encourage you to read the book, The Courage to Be Disliked. I encourage you to read that book. If for some reason the Bible is too intimidating for you, start there. Almost every principle in that book aligns with what I believe to be true about our faith in God and everything. That is the purpose of The Courage to Be Disliked, by the way. That is the book. It's to give up yourself for the common good. It's not this crazy sacrifice thing where you don't worry about yourself. It's simply not being overly critical of yourself. That's the issue. You're insecure in your image. You're insecure. Something about you is creating an insecurity. That is a self-reflective thing. So you have to change how you reflect on yourself. It's not simply just be nice to you and say nice things to yourself in the mirror. It's change your life so that you can become somebody worthy of your self-praise. And I say that lightly, not self-praise. We don't praise ourselves, right? But the idea of confidence. The only way to truly achieve confidence is by feeling like you're actually giving something to people. Because that's what life is for. That's what we're created for. To help others, to serve others. I said this in my last video, in the 7 habits. I wish I started sooner. Serving other people every day. That should be the model. And if you look at how business works, the best businesses, the ones that last, they're serving something. They're giving something to someone. Coca-Cola, even though it makes people fat, it's giving somebody a sweet taste. It's serving somebody. Best Buy creates a good buying experience for the customer. Everything really is about how you can help other people. And it isn't until we've started twisting that and seeing how we can help ourselves that our society has started crumbling and that people have started feeling these feelings of depression and anxiety. I truly believe that, and I think that that's the answer. The answer isn't make yourself the strongest, have the biggest muscles, have the biggest house, or make everybody like you and make sure that you have the most likes on your Instagram post and all of that. The answer is to stop worrying about yourself. To stop worrying about yourself and worry about what you can do for other people. Because then the things that you do to make yourself better is not to make yourself better for yourself, it's to make yourself better for the people around you. And I think that's the true solution. And if you look in the Bible, if you look in that book, it'll say the same thing. That's the video. That's the end of the video. But if you were that person when you clicked on this video that I described, and okay, this sounds great and thank you for this mindset shift, but like, where do I start? Start with your character, and your character starts with your discipline. That's why I think people are pushing that, because that is the starting point. But people pretend like being the most disciplined automatically gets you to the finish line, and that's just not how it works. But start with your discipline. If you can take control of who you are and you can be self-controlled, that'll be the starting point. And I think that's why fitness is encouraged, and that's why I think it's a good encouragement, right? Because it is the basic form of discipline, right? What you eat and how you treat your body, right? Start there. Just to give something, I want to make more videos on this topic. I want to make more videos about what I believe self-care really is and how I think that self-care is less about self and more about others. And that'll lead to true self-care. So if that's something you're interested in listening to, like the video so I know to keep making videos like this. Drop a comment. Does this make sense? Do you agree? You know what I'm saying? Do you think I'm off completely? Well, leave a comment. If you haven't subscribed already and you've seen a couple of my videos, consider subscribing. It takes 2 seconds and it helps me grow the channel and grow the community we're trying to build at large. But yeah, it's been your boy, Andres Tagliaferro. You already know what to call me. And remember, stay grateful.